live. It's Connor and I. College football week 1 preview. Dylan is not going to be here with us on this episode. Out with a personal matter. We send our best to Dylan. Connor, this is the first time we've done a college football preview, just us, I think.
This takes me back to, like 2021 maybe? When's the last time we did this?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if we were even doing those then.
Because I was going to say, I was sitting in my studio apartment in Connecticut, but I think it was even before that. I think I was in college.
Yeah, I think that was like NBA college basketball still. I don't even know if that was just college football. But anyhow, week 1 is here. It's Monday. We're recording right now. And we've got Texas, Ohio State. We've got Miami, Notre Dame. You look at the schedule. You got so many. LSU, Clemson. We'll preview all the big games. You look at the schedule, you pull up the score app, and you just go, oh, man, I just got to get through this week of work. I just got to get to the end of the day. I just got to get to Saturday. There's some good games on Thursday and Friday, don't get me wrong, but just got to get to Saturday for some real college football because we had week 1 this last weekend. And I don't know about you. I was watching the games. Look, I like Iowa State, Kansas State. I think they're both fun teams. I like Big 12 football. I don't like Big 12 football played in slippery stadiums in Dublin, Ireland. But I was watching the game, and I just go, I just want the real thing.
Or it's like, this might be greedy as, a spoiled college football fan here, but you just wanted to flip over to another game or have 2 or 3 on at the same time. Have that 4 box on.
That's a great point because I was also watching the game. The commercials were so long. And I just go, you got to be kidding me. Just take me. Just please do any. I just want to be able to switch the channel or have 2 TVs going or I can just point to another game. But Iowa State, Kansas State, yes. I want to hand up. I got the game wrong. Avery Johnson just stinks. I wasn't a fan of Avery Johnson before the game. I just thought they were going to be able to get it done on the ground. Now, I do have an asterisk on my pick because I said a huge point of my pick is Avery Johnson and Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards injured on like the first play of the game, basically. So, bit of an asterisk.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It was a fun game to watch, I think, but I think you're right. It was just kind of a tease. And Avery Johnson, I was middling on Kansas State in our Big 12 preview. I think I said like 8-4, 9-3.
I think we were all like that.
Yeah, I think so too. But Iowa State, I was kind of out on Iowa State, but shout out Rocco Beck.
Yeah, Rocco Beck, I mean, his completion percentage was only 50% in that game, but the stats lied a little bit in this game because also I thought Rocco Beck played a phenomenal game because at the same time, how many guys just dropped open passes in this game and how many just Looney Tunes fumbles were there in this game? Rocco Beck was great. I was wrong in the preview where I said I think Rocco Beck's going to take a step back. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think K-State's defense honestly isn't bad. I just think once it dried up and Rocco Beck could throw the ball, I think teams are tired and blah 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 whatever.
Is it true? We were talking about it in the group chat. I think you or Dylan said this. The rest of the Big 12's licking their chops at this game. Watching this game.
Oh my gosh, yes, guys.
Open season.
I mean, these are 2 of the top 6 teams in the Big 12 at least. Everybody else in the Big 12 is going, all right. But we knew that. We knew how this was the Big 12 was. The highest win total was, 8.5, and then the lowest win total was only 6 or something, 5.5. So
yes, the majority of the conference was in that range.
Yeah, they're all in that range, so it's not a big deal. The last thing on this game I want to point out, I need to come back to this game. I need to have this game bookmarked on my computer because whenever Dylan's on here and he's like, well, look at the numbers, look at the stats, look at this guy's completion percentage and this PFF and all that, whatever. Have you had a chance to look at Avery Johnson's stat line from that game?
I've looked at his stat line. Tell the whole story? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. If anybody who watched that game would have said, "Oh, Avery Johnson, yikes! I don't know about this guy." I don't think he had a completion for positive yardage until halfway through the second quarter. The stats say he went 21 of 30, 273 in the air, 2 passing touchdowns, and then 8 carries, 21 yards, and a rushing touchdown. If you look at that, you go, oh, Avery Johnson, pretty solid game, to be honest. You watched the game, you were disgusted, to be honest.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? Is we're going to be in like week 9, week 10. We're going to be starting playoff discussions, and Iowa State's going to, maybe Iowa State's like top 20 still, and Dylan's going to be like, look what Avery Johnson did against Iowa State's defense in week 0. And we're going to sit here and be like, wait a second, Dylan.
Yeah, just blindly looking at the numbers. But anyhow, shout out Iowa State. Good one for them. Week 0, the rest of it, Jalen Daniels is back, Connor.
18 for 20. I saw that. Still doesn't know how to protect himself, but he's back.
That's fair. UNLV, Orgy and Calandria, the dynamic duo, they were actually pretty fun to watch. But the issue is UNLV might not be able to stop a traffic cone. I think I might be able to rush for 150 on that team.
That was Dylan's G5 pick to make the playoff, right? UNLV?
Yeah, and they were also a G5 team I loved in our preview too, so it might be a bad look for us. But got the win, got out alive. You remember what happened to the team to a team last year that had a close game with a team from Idaho? Oregon almost lost to the Idaho Vandals in week 1, so maybe the FCS Idaho teams are better than we thought.
UNLV, fun quarterback duo, 2 cast legends, Anthony Calandria and Alex Orgy.
Yeah. I do like Calandria. He's fun to watch, but
I agree.
Hawaii gets it done on the island. Maybe the best story of the week was the kicker who learned how to kick watching YouTube in Japan, kicks the game winner. That was just disgusting football, though. That was the epitome of preseason football when you're watching an NFL game in the third quarter and you go, what am I doing? What is this? What kind of decision making? And the quarterback just throws some of the most inexcusable passes where, they're not even close to the wide receiver. Both mainly the Stanford quarterback, wasn't even getting close to the wide receivers.
A little birdie told me, Frank Reich, a little clock mismanagement, little decision-making problem from Frank Reich.
Frank Reich, Hawaii gets it done against the Third Reich. I warned you guys. I warned everyone. I said Hawaii on the island. Hawaii on the island.
You did.
Hawaii on the island. Frank Reich was never getting it done. Frank Reich was there for a vacation. He's there for 1 year. He's not there to win football games. He's there for a vacation. But anyhow, they got to travel so much, that Stanford team. But we've gone long enough on week 0. Other piece of news, Bryce Underwood announces a starter for Michigan. Curious to see how it goes week 1. Really curious to see how it goes week 2 against Oklahoma. That's going to be a big week for this show.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge week for this show. Do you think it's the right decision? And I'll go first real quick. I think it is. I think you just give him the keys, let him go week 1. Don't play this game of, let's wait till week 5 and then bring him in. And there's always this big plan. Just give him the keys. Start the season. Yeah,
because especially whenever you don't want to be taking for. I think it would be a bad idea if he was taking over for J.J. McCarthy right away, coming off a national title and all that. The fact that he was taking over for the worst passing offense maybe I've ever seen in the sport of football. It was disgusting. They couldn't throw a forward pass. I think everything's going to look like gravy this year for him. You're obviously paying him a ton of money. Obviously, he must have shown enough in camp where he deserves a starting spot. I'm with it. Go. If I'm a Michigan fan, I'm wanting Bryce Underwood to start.
I think that's a great point about Underwood starting this year after the train wreck of offense that we saw last year from Michigan and not following the national title. I think that's huge because we know a couple Michigan fans that aren't the most rational people in the world, I would say. But I think especially following last year, this fan base is going to give him more time and more patience to be like, okay, this is our future. After what we saw last year, we're going to have to go through a few growing pains, and we're okay with that, as opposed to following the national title with the expectations being through the roof. So I agree. I think it's the right decision to start Underwood, and it is going to be a big week for this show, week 2. I agree.
Yeah, it is. That we need Michigan to win. Everybody on this podcast needs Michigan to win that game. But anyhow, let's go on. Let's do some previews. Hey. Week 1, we're here.
Karter, we got one announcement to make. Come on now.
One announcement?
We might have to pull up the text screenshots. The week 0 parlay hit.
Oh, that's brutal. I couldn't get the graphic out in time. That was brutal. Meanwhile, I'm out on a golf course. I couldn't get it out in time. That was bad by me.
That's all right. Hey, look, we're sponsored by DraftKings, right? My mug.
Nice.
Shout out DraftKings. Anyways, thought that was noteworthy. Parlay hit. Sam Houston, Western Kentucky over. That was my pick.
Avery Johnson, Hawaii on the island. First quarter under 10.5 for Dylan. And then the other thing was, yeah, we're working on the golf game right now, but I don't know how much more time I'm gonna have to work on the golf game. I'll get texts being like, okay, let's book a tee time this Saturday or whatever during college football. I'm like, look, if it's not before 8 a.m., I'm not playing.
Yeah, because you at least want to There's going to be some good games at noon. You at least want to be back and, like,
I
ready
have
at
to be back at
11:30.
noon.
Yeah.
I have to be watching all these games, and so, yeah. Shot a 94 on Saturday, so not too bad.
Nice. Breaking 100. I like that.
Let's take a quick break from the show to talk to you about our friends from SeatGeek. Download the SeatGeek app or go to SeatGeek.com. Use code KarterKast for $20 off your first purchase. $50 minimum purchase required. Going to a college football game. It's week 1. NFL just around the corner. Concerts all over the place. Use code KarterKast for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. The best place to buy tickets. 100% guaranteed tickets. There's no sketchiness like all these other ticketing websites. Go to SeatGeek.com right now. Create an account. It's super easy. Takes no time at all. And use code KarterKast. Help the show out. Help SeatGeek out. Go to whatever game, concert you're going to. Use SeatGeek. Code KarterKast. $20 off your first purchase. Let's get back to the show. Anyhow, let's do it. Week 1 preview. Let's start off in Columbus, Texas versus Ohio State. 1 versus 3. Arch Manning versus Julian Say and Ryan Day. Steve Sarkisian, a rematch of the semifinal college football playoff matchup. Ohio State is currently a 1.5-point favorite in this game, opened at 2.5. Over-unders 47.5. These numbers are jumping all over the place. I'm seeing 2.5 spread all over the board. I'm seeing 48.5 spread all over the board. Doesn't matter. Texas, Ohio State. Connor, what do you got here?
I think this game's fascinating. It's by far the one I'm looking forward to the most to kick off week 1, just because of the uncertainty of everything on both sides. You've got 2 quarterbacks, Julian Sayin, who was named the starter recently, 12 pass attempts in his career. And then the prodigal son, Arch Manning, who's only got 90 pass attempts in his career. We just haven't seen a lot of either of these guys. And these are 2 teams that we fully expect to be competing in November, December, January, late into the college football playoff. It's kind of our first taste of it. And we saw last year, we had Clemson, Georgia early on, and that was just a complete stomping by Georgia. I don't think this game's going to be like that. So I'll start here. I think from an overall, like, take a step back and look at this game, it's going to be low scoring. I think this is going to be a slugfest. I think it's going to take both of these offenses time to adjust. There's a lot of moving parts on both sides. And I do think this is going to be a game where the defense, at least early on, the defense wins the day for both sides, I would say. So I'll start there. What do you think?
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a lot of conservative play calling out of the gate, where I think there's going to be a lot of juices flowing in this game early. Everyone's kind of a little nervous week 1 because you still get that preseason effect of these week 1 games. We especially saw it in week 0. Not as good of teams in week 0, but we saw it. In this game, I feel like early on it's going to be a lot of first down run, second, it's going to be run, pass. For every, that's going to be the game script on every series is run, pass, run, pass. And I'm just curious to see who takes that first shot, who goes for it first. My guess would be it'd be Steve Sarkisian in Texas because they have the more experienced quarterback. They have, I wouldn't say better weapons because you have Jeremiah Smith on the other side of the ball, but
behind the number 1 option, maybe.
I think this is going to be kind of an ugly game, Connor. I agree. I like Arch Manning, but I think you're right. I think this is one with defense. I think it's going to be one on the ground more. We talked about it beforehand. Dylan would cry tears of joy if he's going to hear this. We're both on the under.
Love the under in this spot. I think there's going to be a lot of longer possessions. You know, when teams do get it going, it's going to be on the ground, like you said, especially for Texas with Arch Manning in the run game. We've touched on that in the preview. But I also think early on, like you said, I think it's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. Or a lot of, like, not cross midfield, punt the ball, conservative play calling, like you said. The thing for me is, and we'll go ahead and get into this now, I think the Texas run game with Quintravion Wisner and, like, C.J. Baxter's back after being hurt last year, I think those 2 plus Arch Manning threat on the ground are going to have more success than Ohio State on the ground. And with an Ohio State defense that, I brought this up in the preview, an Ohio State defense that lost, 8 guys in the top 174 picks of the NFL draft, Jim Knowles is gone, I'm going to trust Texas in the run game to get it going. And I think this is going to be a game played in the trenches, and that's where I'm going to put my faith. Even though I wasn't huge on Texas in the preview, I do think this is a game where Texas, especially that run game, can thrive.
Yeah, I believe that as well. Obviously, you know how high I am on Texas. Obviously, I'm picking Texas to win this game as well. Everything you just mentioned there, too, I think Texas does get it done on the ground as well. I mean, you have no idea what to expect from Julian Sayin as well in this game.
Right.
And how much do you think that college football playoff semifinal plays a part in this game. Because I feel like Texas has a lot more riding on this game, a lot more FU in this game. Ryan Day, Ohio State riding high off a national title game. Sark and this Texas team are going to want this bad.
I feel like there's a lot of Texas players that are back from that game last year that really means something to them.
And
whereas Ohio State lost a ton.
Personally, I love all the Texas players they're putting Julian Sayin QB1 on their Instagram stories and all that. I absolutely love that.
Like Christmas morning.
Yeah, and I think, and also, you got the Texas revenge factor in this game, which doesn't really matter because I think everybody, you'd rather have been Ohio State in that semifinal game. Ohio State won the big one, but I like Texas in this one. I have the perfect score prediction too.
Do you want to go ahead and do it, or do you want to keep going back and forth?
I can just give it now. We can, if you have more on this game, but Texas is winning this game 20-17.
You think it'll be that close? One-score game? Field goal game? Originally, when I first looked at this, I was thinking like 13-10 or 17-13, something really
but
really
it's
gross.
not Michigan football.
My we can go into my final score prediction was 23-13 Texas.
Okay, all right. So
That's where I'm going.
So you have Texas by double digits over Ohio State. Put it on the quote card.
Okay, yeah, but let's not run with that. It's not like a Texas by 30 type of deal. I just think it's a 23-13 game. Maybe Texas pulls away late, gets a late score, Ohio State turnover. Here's what I'll say about Ohio State. They lose Travion Henderson. They lose Quinshon Judkins. That's 2,100 yards, 24 touchdowns. They lose Egbuka. You're going from those weapons to C.J. Donaldson as your number one lead back, which he's a fine running back, but he's not going to do that. He's not that much of a difference maker. And that's what I was going to say for this Texas defense. They can just key in on Ryan Williams. They can just key in on Jeremiah Smith. And all you have to do is just lock him up, put two guys on him, and make Julian Sayin beat you with somebody else. Make him go to somebody else. Make him go to another option. Because behind that number one wide receiver position, where else do you turn to if you're Ohio State in this game, would be my question. What else is there? Yeah. Where's the other proven commodity on that offense? So you put two on Jeremiah Smith, and I think you live with the results of that. Make Julian Sayin throw the ball in his first start.
And I think a lot of Ohio State fans are going to point to James Peoples at running back. But
yeah, and I think that's fair, but do we know yet?
But Julian Sayin in his first real college football game having to go against this Texas defense, which I believe is the best defense in the country as well.
Yep.
I think it's just a bad recipe for Ohio State in this game, and I think Texas comes out with the win. I think people might overreact too much after this one too, and whatever the result is, people are going to overreact big time to this one. That's what we do in week one, in week zero. Week zero right now, Rocco Beck's winning the Heisman probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true.
Do you want me to do a Dylan impression for this one?
Yeah. No, let's hear it.
All right, Dylan Wilkerson. Texas is winning this game. I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that. I feel me.
I would be shocked if Texas isn't up by 25 in the second half.
Dylan's score prediction, Texas 21, Ohio State 3.
Is that actually what he said?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
This Ohio State team won't score more than 3 points.
Yeah,
taking a step up.
That's what I got.
How much do you put into, you kind of touched on the revenge factor. Do you think Sark's learned his lesson about the cute play calling? If it comes down to an end-of-game situation like this, surely he's learned by now, right?
That's an excellent question because I don't know. I mean,
because this exact matchup, we saw it last year. You put the clip on TikTok with that video over it. We saw what happened last year in this matchup, in the biggest moment.
Yeah, is he going to go is he going to freaking do a pitch out to the side?
Or like an arch bootleg 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage instead of running up the middle for 2 yards?
But I hope not. I really hope not. I said that in the Texas preview where it's just, look, my number one concern with this Texas team, not really more Arch Manning, not really the offensive line, definitely not the defense, not even the weapons. Is Sark going to get too cute in the big moments? Because it is interesting now that Ryan Day's won a national championship, when it comes down to a close game, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I trust Ryan Day over Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it.
Yeah. But we haven't seen it with Julian Sayin at all, so.
No, we haven't. And I think that's the big point. Last thing I'll say, I haven't seen like player props out if anybody wants to bet college player props. Max Clare, tight end for Ohio State from Purdue, I think he has a huge day because that's going to be the safety blanket. That's going to be the, oh shit, Texas has 3 guys busting through the line of scrimmage within 2 seconds. I got to get rid of it for a 5-yard dump off. Max Clay receptions, Max Clay yards. I think they put 2 on Jeremiah Smith. That's the safety blanket for Julian Sayin.
Yeah, I love that. And if you're going for a Texas wide receiver prop, give me Ryan Wingo everything. I love Ryan Wingo. I think he's going to have a massive, massive year for Texas.
I can see him take a screen pass about 50, 60 yards, take it to the house.
I hope they let Arch throw it a little bit, though. I hope it's not super conservative where we're running a high school offense of just screen passes and 5-yard curl. It's 5-yard slant routes. I want to see Arch kind of throw a little bit and see what he's got on that arm.
I think it really depends on how the first couple of drives go, how comfortable he looks. God forbid if there's an early turnover, then I think it's conservative the rest of the way. But if he can really, Texas gets the run game going, they go down and score the first drive or the first 2 drives, whatever it may be, I think Sark might let him let it go after that. So we'll see.
I would love to be wrong, but I'd love on that first drive or first play of the game, they just say, Arch, let it rip.
I think the odds on that are probably plus 500, plus 1,000.
Yeah,
it's really going to be a handoff up the middle. He's going to clap his hands, and he's going to have somebody in the eye and just hand it off.
It's going to be a read option, and he's going to give it off to the running back, and it's going to be a 3-yard gain, and it's going to be 2nd and 7. Calling it right now.
I think, yeah. Can we bet that exact line? Come on, draft.
So we're doing the college game day graphic. Texas across the board. Texas money line.
I've got Texas money line. I've got the under. I think my favorite play in this game is the under 47.5. We touched on it briefly. It's going to be a game one in the trenches on the defensive line, and I think Ohio State lost too much on that defense. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I've got Texas coming out, but you said it. Don't overreact to this because both these teams are going to be playing late in December for a college football playoff spot.
Depending on the odds, I don't think they have it out right now. Toss in a little Arch Manning anytime touchdown for me.
Really?
If it's like over plus 200, plus 250, something like that, I love it. I don't think it will be. I bet it would be like plus 140.
Yeah,
which isn't
I think so too.
But anyhow, all right, Texas, Ohio State, love it. Today's episode is brought to you by CapCut, the best video editing app out there. If you see our social clips, you wonder, how much time does that take them? They must have a ton of video editing training, all this stuff. No, it's because we use CapCut. It's the easiest video editing app out there. Anybody, any age, anybody can use CapCut and make a good-looking video using it. Download the CapCut app in our episode description below. Sign up for CapCut Pro. We have CapCut Pro here at KarterKast. You have to have it. You have to have auto captions, animations, all this great stuff, and so many great features they have to make it easy and smooth, and it makes your videos look phenomenal in such a little amount of time using CapCut. It's the best video editing app out there, especially if you're trying to grow a social media channel. Download the CapCut app in our episode description below. Use the link, and don't forget to sign up for CapCut Pro as well. PC and mobile links in the episode description below. Let's get back to the show. Bama FSU in Florida State, in Tallahassee. Bama minus 13.5, over under 50.5 in this game. All the money, all the bets, everything is on Alabama in this game, and rightfully so. Florida State coming off the worst season maybe in their school history. DJU is gone. Mike Norvell brought in an entirely new team and coaching staff, basically. Had to overhaul that piece of crap from last year. Bama, we don't know the quarterback position. Once again, it's Ty Simpson coming in, but we don't know what we're getting out of Ty Simpson. They're favored by 13.5 in this one. You and Dylan are big Bama guys this year. I'm assuming you're going big on Bama spread here.
Well, Carter, all the things you just mentioned, all the turnover in Florida State, Norvell, season from hell last year, new quarterback. You know what you should do when that happens? Is have your starting quarterback come out in the media and say Nick Saban is not going to save you and talk all the shit in the world. That's exactly what you should do. I can't think of something better you could do if you're Florida State.
From a guy that got benched at Boston College. And we're Boston College guys. We were Tommy Castellanos.
Fly, Eagle, fly.
We were all Tommy Castellanos fans. We all had the Boston College win total over last year. I like Castellanos. That's a ballsy quote, man.
I like the confidence, but I just think that's stupid.
Did you see Norvell's quote before this?
No, what'd he say?
I'm gonna butcher the quote. I'll get it right here in a second, but it was of the lines of, "There's a reason I didn't take that job."
Oh, at Bama.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. To what? Go 2-10 at Florida State? Is that the reason you didn't take the job? Look, if you're Castellanos, if you're Florida State and Castellanos, your hope going into this game, back in May, June, whenever, before he made these comments, you hope Alabama sleeps on you. You hope Alabama comes out slow in week 1 and they're double-digit favorites and they sleepwalk a little bit and you get a chance to pull off a miracle. By him making those comments, there's no chance of that anymore. There's no chance of Alabama overlooking them because every single guy on that defense has looked at Thomas Castellanos' comments and said, okay, now we have to, shove this guy into the dirt week 1. So I think their best chance was hoping that Alabama sleepwalked into the season, and that's not happening anymore.
Real quick, I think I got ball sacked.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I think I got ball sacked. That's okay.
That's unfortunate. It happens to the best of us.
That's not a bad ball sack.
No, that would have been hilarious, though, if he actually did say that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That was a bad job by me. I mean, I got the Tommy Castellanos stuff, man. You see that and you go, oh, the whole team's probably doing that. But
they're all buying in, yeah.
Look, man, you look at this game, Alabama, Florida State. I'm picking Alabama to win this game. I'm staying away from everything left, right, and straight in this game. If I had to pick something, it would be the under. Once again, I know it's boring, but Alabama's defense is elite, and Florida State, I don't see Thomas Castellanos dicing up Alabama in this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, he was benched last year at BC. He makes a lot of plays on the ground. He's an exciting player. Like we said, we were big on him last year. Makes a ton of mistakes. Just a ton of mistakes.
And I don't even think PFF understands his turnover-worthy throw rate because when you watch him, it's a straight heart attack the entire time if you're rooting for him.
He's throwing suicide balls to his wide receiver, genuinely. But if you look at this game, here's a good prediction for you. I think it's going to be close in the first half. I think it's going to take a minute. I think maybe Florida State comes out and scores early. Maybe it takes Bama's offense a few drives to get rolling. I don't hate betting tie at halftime or even like Florida State leading at halftime. I think this is one of those games where, oh my God, Florida State's up 13-10 at halftime or 10-7 at halftime. Is Bama in trouble? And then Bama comes back in the second half and wins like 34-20.
Plus 920 for the tie.
I don't hate that. I'll say right now, I don't hate that. I don't hate Florida State coming out hot. Because you're going to see the tweets from like DraftKings and FanDuel where it's like, oh, Castellanos backing up his talk. Bama's in trouble. DeBoer's in hot water. And then they come out in the second half and just boat race him.
Yeah, I'm not super high on this Bama team this year, so I don't hate that. But I'm also not high on Florida State either by any means. So I can't. Yeah, under's the play here. Under's the play. This feels like it could be 34-13.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I'm just very curious, like you mentioned, to see what we get from Ty Simpson, because I mentioned this in our preview. He's been at Bama since 2022. He's been in the program. He's got the weapons around him. He's got Ryan Williams. He's got Jeremy Bernard, who had 800 yards last year. Isaiah Horton's a good number 3, 6'4" guy from Miami, like I touched on. Those are good weapons against a mediocre Florida State defense at best, I would say. And the talent is clearly there with Ty Simpson. I saw this. Coming out of high school, he was the number 3 quarterback behind only Cade Klubnik and Connor Wegman. So the talent's there. I'm just curious to see how he fits in this system. I do think he'll be a better fit with DeBoer than Jalen Miller was. I've been on record saying that. It sucks that Jay Miller broke his collarbone because the running back situation looks a little grim for Alabama. We'll see who steps up. There's like 2 or 3 guys who could be the lead back with him out for a couple of weeks. But overall, I don't think it's going to matter. I think Castellanos is going to have at least 2 second-half turnovers, and I think Bama pulls away in the second half. I'm going to go Alabama 34, Florida State 20. So I'm going to go over in this game. Maybe a garbage time touchdown to get the over.
Yeah, I want to change my score prediction. Give me Alabama 31, FSU 18. Just a weird score.
Weird score. They go for 2 somewhere, block, kick, something.
Safety, something weird. That's what I want. 31-18. Dylan is on the under. Shocker of the century. And, yeah. Anything else on this Alabama-Florida State game?
I think it's going to be the weapons at the receiver that make the difference for this Alabama team. I think Ty Simpson is not going to have to do too much. He's not going to have to carry the team on his shoulders in this game. I think Alabama is head and shoulders talent-wise better than this Florida State team. He just has to not lose the game. Just don't screw up, and you're going to walk out of here with the W, even on the road. So I like it to be close in the first half. Bama pulls away second half.
Yeah, because that's one thing about this Florida State team that I'm curious to see is, okay, is this going to be one of those teams where if they fall behind in a game, 2 possessions, can they come back? Can Castellanos keep the ball in the air and bring him back in a game? I'm not super positive about that. It feels like Florida State has to get the early lead, kind of like not necessarily a Michigan of last year. They're going to have a better offense than Michigan of last year. But if you talk about Michigan or an Iowa team before, it's, hey, they have to get ahead early in the game and then just run out the clock basically for 2.5 quarters.
Thomas Castellanos down 2 scores. I feel like you blink and you're down 30 if you let him start airing it out like that.
That's a pick six waiting to happen. You're just,
exactly.
They're throwing an out route and bang, pick six right there. All right, that's Alabama, Florida State. So we're around there, 13.5 spread right there. You know, no one's picking a side here. No one's picking Alabama by 13.5. Or
gun to my head, I'd take Alabama by 2 scores just because I think they're going to jump ahead in the second half. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think, at least through halftime. But yeah, I don't love a spread. I'm going to take the over. I think Florida State has a late garbage time touchdown to hit that over 50.5. It's a high number, but
I love it.
That's the play.
Going back to the Texas-Ohio State game, they do already have touchdown props available.
Of course they do. They got to take our money early, Karter. Monday. They got to take our money early.
Ryan Wingo plus 220, and then Arch Manning plus 200 anytime touchdown. So
might have to get sprinkled.
Might
add that to the tickler file.
Yeah, I was about to say, the problem is you have to get those early because I got Avery Johnson at plus 130 anytime touchdown because we did our preview so early for week 0. And then the anytime touchdowns get tanked because people before kickoff are like, well, Avery Johnson's obviously scoring. They just hammered anytime touchdown.
4 bush lights deep at 11:45. It's like I got to put this $10 somewhere.
Yeah, it was minus 130 on most books going by like right before kickoff. I'm like, that is crazy. Avery Johnson anytime touchdown minus 130. They do have them for the Alabama Florida State game, and Dre Washington for Bama is basically minus 200. I was looking for Castellanos. He's only plus 155. Don't love that.
Yeah.
No thanks. Anyhow, let's move on. We've got Clemson, LSU. This game is going to be awesome. Maybe the 2 best quarterbacks in the country. Right now, every mock draft has them 1 versus 2. Clemson is a 3.5-point favorite at the moment in this game. Game is in Clemson. Over under 57.5. Connor, we were big on Clemson. Dylan is all out on LSU. Are you in on Clemson in this game?
I am in on Clemson in this game. And Karter, I said it once, I'll say it a million times. You told me to remind you. Roll the tape. Brian Kelly's 0-3 in season openers at LSU. But it's not even for that. It's for the fact that the quarterbacks, it's going to be a great matchup. Klubnik and Nussmeier, I think those are 2 great quarterbacks, some of the best in the country. I think it boils down to what they have around them. And if we're talking weapon-wise, I think Clemson's wide receiver group is miles ahead of LSU's.
Miles?
Don't you think? Maybe not miles, but
it's an LSU receiver group. I'm not too concerned about an LSU receiver group.
My one caveat to that would be who's going to be the guy for LSU to break out and cement himself as a first-round pick this year. Because you know there's somebody. Is it going to be Aaron Anderson?
That's what I was going to go with. I was going to go with Aaron Anderson.
I think that's fair, but I do like with Clemson, their whole group is back from last year. All 3 top guys are back from last year, and I like that continuity. And we touched on it in the preview. We weren't film off of guys. I think that run game is going to have a little bit of juice to it that we didn't see last year for the majority of it.
We have a little blind spot on Clemson from last year, though, because let's not pretend this was a great, great team last year. Yeah, they won the ACC. They also did it doing the bare minimum and beat a meh SMU team, and they looked good against Texas last year. If they didn't look good in that Texas game last year, are we all sitting here saying Clemson is a true national title contender and they should be a top 3 team in the country?
I don't think they're going to – I don't have them in the national title game.
All right, well, we'll get to that later.
At all. Later. But, no, I think that's fair. I think they are going to win the ACC. It's a weaker conference. I think they're head and shoulders the best team in that conference. But in this game specifically – where's Garrett Nussmeier going to turn to? I get it. Anderson's a great receiver. Is the run game going to be any good this year for LSU? I'm not sure. The O-line has a ton of turnover. There's 4 new starters this year. I think Nussmeier's going to be running for his life because this Clemson front 7, is actually a position group they addressed in the transfer portal, which you don't see a ton from Dabo, but they addressed that. They got guys in to help stop the run, and with Tom Allen and a defensive coordinator, I think this Clemson defense is really going to have its way with LSU's O-line. So that would be my number one point in this game, is that I think Nussmeier is a great quarterback, but I don't think he's going to have a lot of time to throw. And when we saw that last year, and the LSU's 3 losses, they had a 3-game losing streak last year. It was when he got pressured, got sacked 7 times against a great Florida front, or threw 2-3 picks. It was Nussmeier's mistakes that hurt LSU last year. And I think he's going to be pressured running for his life in this game.
Yeah, I was just trying to play devil's advocate because I love Clemson in this game, because you talked about it. I was getting ready to go after it. The LSU offensive line has a ton of question marks. You hear about anything in training camp, it's, the defense has been – it's the great question of fall camp in college football is, the defensive line's looking amazing. Okay, well, does that mean the offensive line stinks? And in this case, I do think the offensive line might stink in this game. Then what's the run game looking like? You're going against a Clemson front seven, that Clemson defense. I mean, how many first-round picks, how many NFL guys do we have to talk about on that Clemson front seven or on that defense alone? So they're going to have their way with that offensive line, not to mention I like Cade Klubnik more than Garrett Nussmeier.
I think I do too. I think that's a fair statement.
The game's at Clemson too. Brian Kelly 0-3 in home openers. I know I'm kind of just repeating everything you just said, what it sounds like, but I mean, what else is there? You talked about Phil Maffa being gone. I think that's a positive for this team. I don't think Phil Maffa was that great a running back, and I think he kind of stalls you. Yeah, he's great in goal line situations, big back and everything, but I don't think you're as dynamic with Phil Maffa by any means.
Yeah, in Clemson, you look at last year, Clemson was first in the ACC and 11th nationally in fewest turnovers. They're not going to give the ball away. They're not going to lose this game, especially at home. I think they're going to play a polished game. I think they're going to have more of a run threat this year. And just the continuity of it all. A team last year that didn't turn the ball over, that made that run, that played well against Texas in the last game of their season, I think that does matter. And the offensive line for Clemson brings 4 or 5 back, whereas we just touched on LSU, question mark. 4 guys are gone. Nussmeier's going to be running for his life. Do we trust their run game? There's too many questions. Plus, their best defensive guy, Harold Perkins, his first game off an ACL injury. Is he going to be fully 100% ready to hit the ground running? Or is it going to take him a few weeks to get back in that game shape? That's a serious injury. There's just too much of that. Well, if this goes right, if that goes right for Brian Kelly, if this happens, Clemson's the proven commodity. Clemson's got all the returning production. They were first in the NCAA in that. I'm rolling with Clemson here. I've got Clemson -4 at home. Brian Kelly moves to 0-4 in season openers at LSU.
I agree. And also, what are you getting out of Caden Durham? I wasn't super impressed with what I saw limited last season, but what are you getting out of him? And if you're not going to be able to get the run game going with this, supposedly weaker offensive line, then Nussmeier's going to have to play one of his best games ever in an LSU uniform. Why would I not just bet on Clemson at that point?
Yeah, I'm with you. And like I touched on, I don't know if Clemson's going to win the national title, but I definitely know LSU's not. Sorry.
Definitely. Oh, okay. All right. Put that on a quote card.
LSU is not. LSU is not winning the national championship. I like my odds there.
What if Nussmeier's, winning the Heisman?
Then I'll come on here and say I have an apology. I'll issue a public apology.
I mean, I could easily see a world where Nussmeier wins the Heisman and LSU doesn't go far in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaden Daniels won the Heisman, and they were kind of, they were decent.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening again.
Jaden Daniels was dirty that season. Yeah. But who do you think's the favorite to score a touchdown in this game?
The favorite. That's tough, actually.
It kind of surprised me a little bit. And in retrospect, it shouldn't, but...
Is it Antonio Williams?
No, he's 4th.
Gideon Davidson, freshman running back. Okay, I don't know.
He's way down the list. He's plus 260.
No, I guess Jay Haynes is going to get some snaps. All right, who is it?
Cade Klubnik.
Really? I guess so.
Minus 125. Dylan in this game has Clemson -4 as well. I'm not loving how much we are on all the same picks together.
Yeah, this is tough. We'll see. Maybe this is the year that we stayed every year. Maybe this is the year we just no ball. And we're just
maybe
spot
this is
on.
the year we just get all of these right. I mean, hey, we're going down with the ship together. But yeah, give me Clemson. I like the 3.5 better. So give me Clemson minus 3.5. Yeah, there's just a lot. I just have a lot more questions about the LSU team than I do Clemson. But I don't want to sit here and, I know I picked Clemson to go to the national championship game and whatnot. But I do think there is a lot of hype on this Clemson team where, look, I am going to need to see it too, because this team wasn't that impressive from last season where, they were beating up on App State. Yeah, they were beating up on Wake Forest in the bottom of the barrel in the ACC. But once it came time to play a really good team, they were fine against SMU, and then Klubnik did look good against Texas. But it's not like they were winning that game.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair point. And if Clemson was playing another one of these top 9-10 teams, I might feel differently about this game, but I'm just not super high on LSU this year, and that's more what it is for me.
All right, score predictions, and then we'll move on.
I'm going to go Clemson 31, LSU 20.
I think this is a higher scoring game, to be honest. I agree.
Really?
I'm going Clemson 34, LSU 28.
So the over. The total is 57.5. That's the highest total we're going to talk about today. So that makes sense.
I think it's going to be an electric game. I'm so excited. Saturday.
I think so too. This is a night game, right? This is the night game?
Yes. And this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I kind of like not having the 3:30 kickoff. Like, I kind of like having the 7:30 kickoff being the big game of the week. Or noon, I'm not super pumped on, but I like having Saturday night as the big game instead of 3:30 like it always was with CBS SEC games.
Yeah, I like that as well, because you're going from Texas Ohio State at noon, and then you feel like you're getting hit with a waterfall or a fire hydrant in your face if you go straight into 3:30 with LSU Clemson. You get a little time to breathe, watch some other teams, catch your breath. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like it being at night.
I love it. I don't love that BYU plays at FCS game during this time though. Ugh.
You're gonna have like one eye like to the side. Like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's like BYU minus 43.5. Let's see. I'm gonna be locked in. I want to watch Bear Bachmeier. I gotta watch my guys. Anyhow, let's move on briefly. Let's go to. Should we go to East Carolina, NC State Thursday night?
Oh, that's my underdog pick. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be so good. Hollywood
I
Smothers
minus. It crossed my mind.
I know.
If Dave Doran didn't treat this game like his freaking Super Bowl, then maybe I would have picked that. But they've been waiting for this game all year, all off season.
I was actually sitting there looking at tickets. I'm like, maybe I take Justine to this game. Maybe we go to NC State, ECU. This would be kind of a fun game to go to. This is going to be a rowdy crowd on Thursday night. Then I saw it was $142, and I said, no thanks.
Ooh, golly.
No thanks.
Talk
it's
about,
ECU,
I mentioned
NC
Busch
State.
Light earlier. Talking about Busch Lights this game.
Oh my gosh. I'm
That is
excited.
steep.
I do want to talk about your team on Monday night very briefly once we wrap up the show, but
We could do something like that.
let's go Notre Dame, Miami. Notre Dame, Miami. Notre Dame is a 2.5-point favorite. This game is in Miami, over under 50.5. A lot of new pieces on both of these teams. Both new quarterbacks. DJ Carr for Notre Dame, Carson Beck for Miami, Cristobal back with Miami after the choke of the Syracuse game last year, missing the ACC title game, missing the college football playoff. Notre Dame coming off a championship loss against Ohio State. No Riley Leonard there. It's Jeremiah Love season for the Fighting Irish. Connor, Notre Dame 2.5-point favorites on the road. You feeling that?
I don't mind it. And that's more because I don't trust this Miami offense. It's more of his Carson Beck fully healthy off that UCL injury. Miami, brings in, I think they lost their top 6 pass catchers. They didn't return a guy that caught more than 10 passes last year. Sure, there's some transfers in. The wide receiver group's brand new. A lot of turnover with a quarterback that we've touched on a million times. He stopped playing for Georgia, and that team rallied around the backup. Why do you think that is? So, maybe he's had a great camp. Maybe he's fully healthy. Maybe this Miami offense comes out firing. I think it's more likely they don't. I think it's more likely that this offense kind of sputters out of the gate and Notre Dame takes the reins of this game. That's what I would say. Even in Coral Gables, even on the road, the one saving grace for Miami, and I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth, is their defense.
Yep.
Is their defense. Miami's defense, they're going to have to have it. They're going to have to stop Jeremiah Love in this game. They're going to have to sell out on the run, make CJ Carr throw the ball and beat you. That's Miami's chance in this game. That's their hope, is that the defense can can rush TJ Carr, stop Jeremiah Love on the ground, and make this a lower scoring game. And for Miami, historically, that's a crazy statement. But that's what it is for this game. Don't you agree?
100%. I don't know if I necessarily am worried about picking the better quarterback in this game. I think it's about picking the better running back, because I think if Miami's defense is as cracked up as it's supposed to be this year, everyone's saying Miami's defense is supposed to be strong. Let's say they're somewhat equal, even though obviously you're going to pick a Notre Dame defense over a Miami defense 10 times out of 10. Let's say they're somewhat equal. Okay, then you go to the offense. I want Jeremiah Love, man. I want Jeremiah
Best player
Love.
on the field.
He's going to be the best player on the field in this game. I like Mark Fletcher. I think he's great. He might have been better than Damian Martinez at points last season. But I like Jeremiah Love more in this game. And the argument would be for the quarterback positions, okay, well, Carson Beck has played in these games before. He's got a ton of experience. What are we getting out of CJ Carr? I would say fair. But then I'd also say, when have you watched a Carson Beck game against a good defense and liked what you saw?
That's funny. That's what I was going to say is, you don't know what you're getting out of CJ Carr. You kind of know what you're getting out of Carson Beck, and I don't know which is worse. Which one would you rather have, the unknown or the known of Carson Beck?
You're getting Carson Beck coming off a legit injury to his throwing arm, and all of a sudden we're supposed to believe, it's going to be better.
And this is not Georgia's weapons. This is not Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers. This is not Kirby Smart as his head coach.
This also isn't Miami's weapons of last year. Xavier Restrepo isn't walking out in this game. It's going to be Keelan Murray and C.J. Daniels from LSU. It's going to be Mark Fletcher. Not bad. I don't think that's a disaster, but it is a drop-off compared to last year.
Yeah.
I think
it's not a national title roster that he's used to at Georgia, and I'm curious to see how Carson Beck adjusts to that, because we touched on it in the preview. He's going to have to be the one to elevate this Miami offense and elevate this Miami team, whereas at Georgia it was, don't screw up, don't throw 3 picks, just let the defense work. We got you great weapons on the outside. That's not the case here in Miami.
Yeah, this is an under. This is just under season, under 50.5. It's under. We're going to I feel like there's just going to be a lot of running the ball and a lot of mistakes by both quarterbacks, to be honest, even though I don't know what we're getting out of CJ Carr, assuming Miami's defense has taken a step up. I just think I'm going with Notre Dame in this game as well.
I do think it's a positive that for a brand new quarterback with CJ Carr at Notre Dame, you've got a pretty good wide receiver group around you. You've got Jaden Greathouse, you've got Jordan Faison, a couple transfers in, Malachi Fields, Will Pauling from Power 5 schools that had somewhat success at their previous stops. You've got that experienced group around you, and then you've got arguably the best running back in the country, and Jeremiah Love. Yep. 7 yards a carry last year, probably the best player on the field in this game, and that's something great to lean on. As a brand new quarterback, knowing you have him behind you and you don't have to carry that weight throughout the whole game, throughout the whole season, I think that's huge for a new quarterback. So I'm going to go Notre Dame here. I think their defense lost a lot of stars, but the talent's still there. Miami's defense will be better this year, but in this spot, I'm going Notre Dame. Too many more proven commodities, a lot of question marks on Miami's side. Score prediction, I'll go Notre Dame 27, Miami 17. I think it's a 10-point win. I think the under still hits.
Yeah, give me the under as well. Give me Notre Dame 24, Miami 21. Closer game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a Vegas spread game. Dylan's picking this game with the shocker of the century, under 49.5 from Dylan. We'll give him 50.5. How about that? I don't know what he actually bet, but I'll give him under 50.5 in this game. But yeah, I'm not super high on this Miami team like we talked about in our previews. I'm also not crazy high on this Notre Dame team, but I trust him a little bit more. I trust Marcus Freeman a lot more than Mario Cristobal, especially in in-game situations. So
I would agree.
Give me Notre Dame. All right. Other college football stuff real quick before we got to go. We actually made really good time on this episode. So
We did good, yeah.
We're going to take a quick break from the show to talk about our friends at 47 Brand. If you're watching on video right now, you can see I have this sick Carolina Panthers hat on with that 47 logo right there on the side. The hat designs are awesome. The T-shirts are so comfortable, and the T-shirt designs are also fantastic as well. And right now at 47 Brand, they're doing 15% off and free shipping on all orders. Look, it's week 1 college football. You're going to go to a college football game this year. They have the best hats, the best T-shirts. Go on there right now and get your team gear right now at 47 Brand using our link in the episode description below. What you're going to do is you're going to click the link and you're going to get 15% off immediately. You're going to sign up for an account and you're going to order all your hats, all your gear, and you're going to get free shipping on that order as well. use our link in the episode description below at 47 Brand, the best place to get your team gear for hats and T-shirts and all other kinds of team gear. The best place to get it, 47 Brand. Go get your hats right now. Let's go through some other week. Yeah. We got time. Let's go through some other week one stuff. Excuse me. Thursday night. We already talked about East Carolina, NC State. I think that's going to be a fascinating game to watch on Thursday night. I absolutely love that. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to get nasty in that one.
That's going to be a game where we see fight in the upper deck of ECU, NC State, and somebody's pants come down and somebody falls down the cement stairs with 10 beers in their hands. We are going to see so many videos from that, especially because it's Thursday night. It's going to be one of the only pretty good games on.
Boise State, South Florida. People are talking about, that's a G5, huge game and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Boise State fan and everything. We'll get to your season predictions here in a minute. I just want to put a bow on week one. We got Duke Elon. I mean, that's a tradition unlike any other. Nebraska, Cincinnati. Now, if Cincinnati beats Nebraska, the hype train's done.
I might have to come on here and make an apology if that happens.
Isn't it a little scary that it's only a 6.5 point spread?
No, first game of the year. Come on, you got to get your legs under you.
So you're not worried about your Nebraska pick if they lose to Cincinnati?
I would be worried about my Nebraska pick if they lose to Cincinnati. The red flags would be raised.
I like Cincinnati in that game quite a bit.
Really?
Quite a bit.
Is that your dog?
Nebraska fans are not happy with me just because I said I don't like Matt Rule. It's like, I'm a Panthers fan. Of course I can say I don't like Matt Rule.
I saw all the comments. It was like, we can separate pro and college. We can not like Matt Rule. That's okay.
Look, yeah, I understand. Hey, I'm okay with the separation between church and state. But guess what? When you get to football, no, if I don't like him, I did not like Matt Rule in the NFL. Doesn't mean, look, I can admit he's a good college coach. I can admit that. I haven't really seen it at Nebraska, to be honest. A lot of hype, not a lot of production on the field. Just putting that out there. But I'm going to need to see it this year from Matt Rule. And also,
I would agree.
I know what I watched. I watched dozens and dozens and dozens of Matt Rule press conferences and dozens of interviews with Matt Rule during his time in Carolina. Just a car salesman. He's a car salesman.
How about Frank Reich and other former Carolina Panthers?
Isn't it funny that Matt Rule's best draft pick while he was the head coach of the Carolina Panthers was made by his wife?
I think that's perfectly defines his legacy there.
Exactly. Anyhow, not a Nebraska guy, fading Nebraska. Give me Cincy plus 6.5. Another fishy line. Wake Forest is only a 16-point favorite against Kennesaw State. Is that a sneaky underdog pick?
I'm telling you this. I've seen a lot of buzz
Ashford
about.
Got announced as the starter today.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of buzz. Wake Forest has one of the easiest schedules in college football this year. Can they do something with it? Love Wake. No, they can't. And I don't hate that underdog pick in week one. I don't hate that at all.
That line jumped out to me. The Friday night slate is actually pretty awesome. Both games on at the same time. We get our wish. We were talking about this in the week 0. It's like, I wish I had 2 games on at once. Mm-hmm. Well, we got it on Friday night. We got Auburn, Baylor, and then Georgia Tech, Colorado. Auburn minus
2.5.
Auburn minus 2.5, which I don't like taking a 2.5 point favorite on the road, which therefore I will not be taking a 2.5 point favorite on the road. Even though I said Auburn is a sleeper, I don't want to take a 2.5 point favorite on the road like that, and especially against. We don't know what we're getting out of Jackson Arnold and Hugh Freeze in this Auburn team, and Sawyer Robertson's a pretty good quarterback at Baylor. That line just screams fishy to me. Then Georgia Tech, Colorado. Georgia Tech only 3.5 point favorites
on the road.
Yeah, on the road. They should be able, if they can run the ball, that game could get ugly.
We'll talk about that game. We'll talk about that game in a minute.
Okay. So we're going Friday night. All right.
Oh, man.
Other week 1 games, there's really not like a ton of big time games. Like Virginia, Coastal Carolina seems like a potential underdog pick when you're looking at that.
Yeah.
But you got Virginia Tech, South Carolina. Under.
I tossed around the idea of Virginia Tech as my dog.
Oh, did you?
I test drove it. I test drove that idea. I didn't do it just because I don't think Virginia Tech's got enough talent. But I test drove it.
I don't hate it, to be honest, but, you know.
It was an honorable mention. I think that game's close.
everyone's out on Virginia Tech this year after they had all the preseason hype last year, and then maybe it's time to buy in on the Hokies. Last thing about week 1, and then we'll move on. We'll do some picks and all this other good stuff. TCU, North Carolina, Monday night. We probably won't be able to record before then for a college football thing. So, quick thoughts, TCU, Carolina. TCU's 3.5-point favorite, over under 57.5.
Yeah, that scares me. TCU 3.5-point favorite in Chapel Hill in Kenan Stadium. I'll start with this. I think the atmosphere is going to be electric for a Carolina football game. And I know when Mac Brown came back,
that means
there was a
they
lot of hype.
go from like golf claps to like regular claps, like.
Yeah, like they might actually stand up for a few drives. Yeah.
No, they do that bull crap in basketball games where nothing actually happens,
here we go.
and everyone all of a sudden just stands up. Like, what are we standing up for?
The funniest thing, because I love that, but the funniest thing is when that happens, and then the other team hits a shot like 15 seconds later, you just see everybody sit down immediately.
Yeah. There's just a slight groan, and everyone sits down in 2 seconds.
I'll be honest, I don't love that it's a standalone game on Monday night at 8 p.m. I don't love that it's the only game on.
That.
I don't love it for Carolina. I love it as a fan to sit down and watch the game and all eyes on us, but I don't love that for Carolina. I think the pressure's going to be on. Belichick's first game. I think guys are going to be tight. TCU's not a bad team. I think Josh Hoover's a pretty good quarterback. So I'm curious to see, with all the turnover, with all the transfers, I think we'll know within the first few drives what we're going to get out of this Carolina team, at least for this game.
Has it been announced who the starter is? I haven't seen anything.
No, not officially, but I bet it gets announced today, I would say.
Gio?
So by the time somebody listens to this, we might know the starter. I would bet it's going to be Gio Lopez. If it's not, I'd be shocked.
It better be Gio Lopez.
Yeah, if you trot out Max Johnson week 1, what does that say?
It says that TCU's winning this game by 10 points.
I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to come down to a last-second field goal from somebody. I think it's going to be really close.
You think even with Max Johnson?
No. I mean, just in general, with Gio Lopez starting. Yeah.
If Max Johnson is starting, it is pick of the week, lock of the century, lockeroni salad, you name it, Locktober sales event. It is TCU minus whatever.
I'm just really, really curious to see what this Carolina defense has. But that's the thing. And this, more than any other year, especially for a Carolina team like this, I don't know. Like, you don't know. You talk to everybody, you talk to the media, you listen to shows, you listen to podcasts. Nobody truly knows with this Carolina team because there's so much turnover and because it's a brand new coach, coaching staff, all of that. Nobody knows. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think they're going to be disciplined. I think they're going to come out with a pretty good script to start the game. It just, when it gets to that third and fourth quarter, what's that defense going to do? Are they going to fold or are they going to hold up? That's what I'd be concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being a different Carolina defense. It's just you bring in a whole new team. It's fun. It's funny. Like, I would love to preview that game, but you just physically can't because there is not there's just an entirely new team, entirely new system. I would trust Steve Belichick's going to have a better defense. Well, it has to be better than last year. It can't get worse, to be honest. So, I don't know. I'm just really excited about that game. Do you think the Jordan Hudson storyline? Because it's interesting. I feel like a lot of people will be on TCU in that game, and this is just maybe dumb football brain by me, but I feel like the Jordan Hudson storyline is going to I feel like more people are going to bet TCU because of that. But if that wasn't a thing, I feel like everybody would be on Bill Belichick in Carolina.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think that's true. So who do you think you think TCU's going to get the most bets?
I think now they will, yeah, because I think people see the whole fiasco of Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick and all that stuff, and everyone's just gonna kind of go against him.
Fair
but
foul.
I could be wrong.
They can't. Do they show her on camera at least once? I think not.
I think Carolina's going to do a good job of hiding her in a box.
I think so too.
And she'll have sunglasses on, but ESPN is making sure they have one camera guy that is just surfing the entire crowd and all the boxes trying to get a view. Or
they won't put her live, but they might clip it off for social. That would
best case scenario. She is front and center on the field.
That's what I was going to say. What if she's down there on the sidelines with the big puffer vest on? I guess it won't be cold, but
folded. Yep.
Yeah, Carolina cut off sweatshirt, headset on.
Yeah, I need her with that. My thing is, or I'd love to they pan to the coordinator's booth and it's just like Steve Belichick, some other dude that just like overweight, looks like he's put Bud Light inside of a Diet Coke can for TV purposes, and then Jordan Hudson with a headset on. They're all just sitting there in the booth.
Golly. I'm just excited. Carter, this is the last thing I'll say about this game. I'm just happy to be relevant again for Carolina football. I'm happy for Carolina football to at least be in the spotlight, to get the Monday standalone game against TCU, last game of week 1. That excites me.
And I think enough time has passed with the Jordan and Bill Belichick stuff that if Carolina comes out and has a dominant performance and plays very well, that storyline I think ends up going away a little bit.
I think it's very simple. You go 9-3, you're in the conversation for the ACC. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. That's what it's going to be. Unless something else happens, I think you're right. Enough time has passed. Win games. That's all that matters.
Today's episode is brought to you by sportsmemorabilia.com, the best place to buy. That's right, sports memorabilia. I'm on here right now. I'm looking at a Cam Newton game-worn signed jersey. Looks beautiful. I need it. The best thing about sportsmemorabilia.com is there's two things. One, everything is guaranteed. There's no sketchy, did this actually get signed? Are these fake autographs? No, 100% guaranteed authentic autographs on here as well. And the other thing is they have stuff for all types of budgets. So you can get stuff on here for $5, $10, $15, $20. Or if you're going to be a big spender, you can spend as much as you want on here. Sportsmemorabilia.com. If you are going to spend on here, use our link in the episode description below. They're doing 25% off right now. Use our link in the episode description below at sportsmemorabilia.com. Up your man cave, up your office. Get that sports memorabilia at sportsmemorabilia.com. Let's get back to the show. All right. Week 1 picks. So this year we're going to do our regular KarterKast parlay, a lot more straight picks, and then, whatever. And then we're going to do an underdog parlay. This is where we're making the real money. But we'll do that secondary. Let's do our Week 1 picks. I'll start off with Dylan's pick. Dylan is on the Texas Longhorns money line. Straight up, Texas to beat Ohio State. We are all floored by this news. Connor, what is your Week 1 pick?
So, I wanted to go Texas-Ohio State under 50.5 or 49.5, whatever it is, 48. I think it's 48. I wanted to go Texas-Ohio State under 48. Dylan picked Texas money line, so I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna trust one of our preseason darlings on the road in Boulder, and I'm gonna go Georgia Tech minus 3.5 at Colorado. Okay. I got 3.5.
I'm in on that.
Yeah, I think Haynes King and Jamal Haynes are going to dice up this Colorado defense. Look, the transfer wide receivers are going to be difference makers. The O-line allowed the third fewest sacks last year, plus everyone on Georgia Tech is healthy for Week 1. And that's something you can't always say. Because, Week 10 comes around, Haynes King's banged up, Jamal Haynes is banged up, something's probably going to happen. Week 1, everyone's healthy, ready to go. I love this Georgia Tech offense. And the Colorado offense with Caden Salter from Liberty is going to be totally different, but I'm not a huge believer in the rest of that offense. I think it's going to be a lot of question marks, a lot of turnover. So I'm going Georgia Tech minus 3.5 at Colorado. I think they're the better team. I think the run game's going to dominate. That's my parlay pick.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it whatsoever. So I have 2 picks. I have one that's very gross that I kind of want to pick. And then the other one's a prop. Should I go with the straight pick that's not a prop, or should I go with the prop?
I think not the prop, because I feel like you can't bet props in some of these states.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. This is nasty. This is nasty. Northwestern Tulane over 46.5.
Really?
Just gross. Just give it to me then.
Northwestern's a dog in that, right?
Yes. They are a 6.5 point dog.
I thought that'd be your dog.
It's going to be no. Not going against Jake Retzlaff.
Yeah, no, true.
Tulane quarterback. Preston
after what
Stone?
happened, maybe you should go against him.
You don't believe in Preston Stone?
He's on my top 5 group of 5 quarterbacks list.
Just group of 5 quarterbacks. Give me Tulane Northwestern over 46.5. No explanation needed.
Okay, I like that. What's the prop?
The prop was going to be Ryan Wingo plus 220 anytime touchdown. But I don't want to go. We shouldn't do props for that. That should be a separate thing or whatever. So
yeah.
All right, that's the parlay. Let's do the underdog one. Dylan's underdog pick is a lofty one. It is Jacksonville State over UCF on Thursday night. They're an 18-point dog at the moment. It is plus 640, I believe, on the money line.
Wow.
So don't call it a shot.
The rules for the dog for everybody listening is you bring an underdog to the show. They need to be at least a 6-point dog or worse. So that's the criteria for this. We're going 6-point dog or worse, around that number. That's a lofty one. You're right, Karter. That's a big ask.
Yeah.
I don't hate it though. Dylan calling a shot week 1. Good for him.
I can go next. I've had this pick for months now. I've said it maybe 10 times on the show throughout the previews. Who's the worst team in the SEC this year, Connor?
Mississippi State.
Nope.
Kentucky. It's Kentucky.
It's the Kentucky Wildcats. Coach Mark Poop not getting it done. Give me Toledo. Tucker Gleason, Chip Tranum, the Toledo Rockets. Team Rockets getting it done. Give me Toledo money line. They're right now a 7.5-point underdog. I got it at 9.5. I love this Toledo team. Give it to me. Toledo money line. They're going to take care of Kentucky. Chip Tranum revenge game against the Wildcats. He was a running back there last year. He is going to dominate Kentucky. Zach Calzada has nothing on the MAC, has nothing on Toledo. Zach Calzada is going to throw a pick 6 in this game. Give me Toledo money line over Kentucky.
I love that. I think that's a great pick.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, what are we getting with Zach Calzada? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. No,
2 honorable mentions for me real quick. Honorable mentions, VT plus 260 against South Carolina. I couldn't quite get there, but it tickled me a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I've also got, sorry, I'm getting a call here. My other honorable mention was Southern Miss plus 360 versus Mississippi State.
Yeah, that was another one. I was looking at that one.
I was hoping just a little bit.
Maybe I throw a little Southern Miss in there. I just add Southern, do a separate parlay with Southern Miss as well. I bet both parlays.
Yeah, there you go. I don't hate that. That's where I thought you were going at first with the worst team in the SEC.
What's your pick?
Okay. My official underdog pick. It's going to be unpopular. I'm also going a little bit lofty, Karter. We're in the double digits here. We're in the 2-touchdown dog range here.
Okay.
Syracuse plus 440 against Tennessee.
Oh,
in Atlanta.
My gosh. Steve Angeli?
Well, neutral site in Atlanta. I understand it's going to be mostly UT fans there. Joey Aguilar on this stage. First game on this stage. Neutral site. Big game. Crowd probably in your favor, but still. A lot of expectations. A lot of pressure. Are we sure? Are we sure week 1? Maybe as the season progresses, he gets more comfortable, but are we sure to start the season? They relied a ton on Dylan Sampson last year for that game script. Hand the ball off, 25 times a game. He'll get you what you need to do. You play off that, play action. They have struggled. Tennessee has struggled to create explosive plays the last 2 years since Hendon Hooker left. That's what I'll say. And with a quarterback like Joey Aguilar that I think, talent for talent, is worse than Nico. He is less talented than Nico. Might be a better fit in the future. But week 1, are we sure? I think it's going to be low scoring. UT defense is going to dominate. The Tennessee defense is going to dominate. But if that offense sputters and Syracuse can hang around late, can Steve Angeli pull off a miracle at the end of this in Atlanta, Georgia? He looked okay in his college football playoff appearance. If it's close, I don't think it's crazy to take a shot on this.
So I put the parlay in on FanDuel right now. It is Jacksonville State, Syracuse, and Toledo money line. And the odds are 1-2-3-6-0. So it is 10.
Wow.
You put $10 on it, and you win over $1,200.
That is insane.
Hey, I've never heard of that. That is the most bonus bet of all time.
Oh, yeah. If you get the risk-free bet, you lose it, Thursday night, whatever. Actually, no, Jacksonville State's Thursday night. If you got a $10 risk-free bet in there, toss it in.
Yep.
That's what I'll
toss
say.
it in there. Yep, that's the one. That's the one. All right, the pressure that's going to be on us if Jacksonville State wins Thursday night.
Dylan is going to be off his rocker if that happens.
I love it. All right, and then you wanted to do Heisman pick and national title picks and everything.
Yeah, I got a couple. I'll just quickly rattle these off just because I missed the last show. Heisman, I got 3. My 3 that so I've got a favorite, I've got a mid-tier, and I've got a long shot. The favorite that I like is Cade Klubnik. I think that's going to be my official pick is Cade Klubnik. Drew Allers plus 1,800. I thought was. You don't think so? I think that's worth a shot because Penn State's going to be, I think, 11-1.
Even if they're 11-1, though, is he going to throw for over 200 yards in a game?
Yeah, I think so.
Drew Aller?
18-1 for a team that I think is going to be in the Final Four. I think that's valid. And then my long shot, Marcel Reed, plus 3,500.
Devin Dampier. Devin
Yeah,
Dampier.
I heard all the hype. I heard all the hype on the last
Devin
show.
Dampier. Let's see.
There's a
1,
reason
2,
he's 60 to
3,
1.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so about half of the games last year, Drew Aller threw for over 200 yards.
That's more of a play on. I think Penn State's going to be great, and if maybe they do, run some play action, let him air it out. I don't know. We'll see. What
They
we
do
get
have
from
better
Andy
receivers this year, so it might not be a bad bet.
I think my official pick is going to be Klubnik, though. I think just because he's going to do so much for that Clemson offense and playing against the ACC, he will be putting up numbers. I think he had 36 touchdowns, 6 picks last year.
Yeah, he's going to put up numbers. I said if out of the favorites, I like Arch, but give me Devin Dampier as my Heisman.
What is he, 60 to 1 or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
give me. You and Dylan gave out your college football playoff picks. Let me run through mine real quick.
Yeah, run through it quickly.
This was this is going to be a little controversial. I struggled at the last couple of these, but see, actually, real quick, my G5 team. I'm between a couple. I wanted to pick Tulane, but I can't because of the schedule.
So who's your G5 team?
I think I'm going to ride Toledo with you. I wanted to get your blessing.
All right, yeah, absolutely. I'll take anybody on the Toledo train.
All right, G5 team's Toledo. We'll start with the automatic bids. ACC, Clemson, I think they're winning the ACC. SEC, I've got Alabama, as we know. Big 10, I've got Penn State. Big 12, I've got Texas Tech, guns up. So those are my automatic bids. The at-large bids, it gets a little dicey. Ohio State, I do think makes it. Texas A&M, I think makes it from the SEC. I'm going to slot Texas in there. I think 9-3, 10-2 Texas gets them in. So I'm going to slot Texas in there as an at-large. I've got Utah from the Big 12. I've got Big 12 getting 2 teams in. Ole Miss from the SEC. I've got Ole Miss over Georgia. I think Ole Miss beats Georgia and gets in over them. And then the last 2, this is where it gets really... I've got Nebraska from the Big 10.
I mean, everyone's got Nebraska. Everyone's going to look back and go, of course... Every college football media person has Nebraska in their playoff. That's their sexy pick, and you look back.
Yep.
Everyone's going to look back and go, of course Matt Rule's going to go 7-5.
What's crazy is it was more of a play on, I'm on Nebraska. I saw it from the Big Ten preview. It was more of a play on, I don't like the other top teams in the Big Ten. I don't think Michigan's going to make it. I don't think Oregon's going to make it. I wanted another Big Ten team to make it, and I chose Nebraska. And then lastly, Karter, Georgia Tech from the ACC. Okay. I think they are the 12th team in. Buzz, 12th seed, Georgia Tech. I think they beat Georgia this year. There's my bold prediction.
I had Duke. Dylan and I both had Duke as our bold ones, and I was sitting there trying to choose between Duke and Georgia Tech. I go, I'm going to go Duke. I'm going to go Duke here because I feel like Georgia Tech was getting a lot more buzz. So, I love it. What's your national title? Yeah.
Alabama over Penn State. That's my national title pick. Alabama over Penn State. I think Kalen DeBoer, year 2, gets it done. Ty Simpson. Let's go Bama.
So Dylan had Penn State over Alabama, and then I had Texas over Clemson.
I think those are both good picks.
All right. I love it.
I love it. I don't love Texas this year, but I see the reasoning. How funny would it be? James Franklin all the way to the national title game and still doesn't get it done. Oh man.
I mean, I feel like I told Dylan this on the last episode. It's like I feel like one of those coaches that need to get it done, Sark, Brian Kelly, James Franklin. I feel like it would be hilarious if two of those 3 were playing each other in the national title game, because the loser of that game is just that might have been their chance.
I know. Golly, I can't wait. This is getting me excited, Karter. This is getting me excited for college football.
I'm so excited. But Connor, it's Monday, so we got a long ways to go until we get real football on our until we get Texas, Ohio State on our screen. Can't wait. Anyhow, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow at Connor_Sparrow, at Karter B8, at KarterKast on everything. And we'll be back. Because, you're like, wait, don't you guys do pro football? Don't you guys do NBA? Don't you guys do all the other sports too? Don't worry. NFL. We're doing NFL shows. The way it's going to work this year is if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you're a fan of a team, your preview is going to be on there. We're going to have all 32 team previews on the YouTube channel, and we're going to do it into 2 episodes, an NFC, AFC show. It's going to be on there. It's going to be out. One's going to be out this week. Next one's going to be out next week, and we've got a lot to record. We got a lot to prep for. We got a lot to get ready for and edit and everything, Connor. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to tune into those episodes. If you missed the conference previews getting ready before the season starts, go check them out real quick. and we'll be back very, very soon with NFL stuff. So make sure to tune in. Make sure to subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.